Whether you own a handful of stores or a multinational chain, you need an IT infrastructure solution designed for the digital economy. From SD-WAN and UCC to network security and data centers, as the world's first IT infrastructure as a service provider, 10-4 delivers every element of your business's foundational technology in one streamlined subscription service. Visit 10-4.com/total retail to learn more. 10-4, with Platinum Elite status in the AT&T Partner Exchange Program and Cisco Gold and Master Partner status, we got this.
Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, and welcome to episode 215 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Joining me today is Kim Audan, Vice President of Digital Commerce, as well as Keir McIntyre, Senior Director, Direct-to-Customer Technology, both of Eileen Fisher, a founder-led women's apparel brand that's also a B Corporation. We're going to be discussing how an omnichannel order management system is helping Eileen Fisher outperform its industry peers. Thanks for joining me, Kim and Keir.
Thanks so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
Thanks so much, Joe. We're excited to be here, and we look forward to the participation in the Q&A with any of our listening audience that this goes out to.
Great. So let's start by having you tell our audience why an omnichannel order management system was a priority for Eileen Fisher.
Well, we always put our customer at the center of everything we do, and it was really important for us to be able to service her in a seamless way. So we really needed a system that would be able to provide us with consolidated inventory visibility and order orchestration, and that's really what this does for us.
Yeah, and just to complement what Kim was saying, I think when you look at the industry today as a whole, especially in retail, omnichannel has become less of a transformational set of initiatives. They are still that, but it's almost become sort of a cost of doing business, right? So it's one of those things now, if you think about kind of what retailers are trying to do by consolidating inventory into one system, make sure the integrity of that inventory is accurate so that they can break down the walls of the channels. That has become something that is more of a cost of doing business now than what it used to be. If you were to go back and look at omnichannel and order management systems 5, 6, 7 years ago, people were thinking this was the latest wave, like AI might have been. But now it's a matter of, you really need to be in this game doing this. And that's why omnichannel order management is so important for Eileen Fisher as well.
So maybe some context for the audience as well. Eileen Fisher, brick and mortar physical presence, obviously the direct-to-consumer website as well. Those are the two primary channels we're talking about here?
Correct. We also have a pretty robust wholesale business, but we're primarily talking about our direct-to-consumer business today.
So let's kind of go back in time a little bit. Prior to having an omnichannel order management system in place, talk a little bit about the challenges that the brand was confronted with, specifically to your point, Kim and Keir, around that single pool of inventory and trying to keep it transparent and customers being able to, access inventory across channels.
Sure. So we were not able to service our customer in the way we really wanted to. The inventory was certainly not fluid. It was sort of locked into each location, and it wasn't accurate. We were not doing things in real time. So we had a lot of manual processes in our mix, and it put a lot of strain on our internal teams, and we were just not delivering the experience we wanted for our customers and our associates.
Yeah, and just to complement again what Kim was saying, I think, when we looked at these challenges holistically, we realized that by not cleansing and keeping the integrity of the inventory across all its channels, it created a trust issue as well between our associates and our customers, right? Which we wanted to break that cycle as well. So if our associates didn't trust what was being presented to them, then of course they were going to be challenged with that trust then translating into the sale with a potential customer, right? So that was really important, which was to create trust in the data because it was cleansed and in one place, so that when they were with a customer in a store or online, that they felt confident in what they were presenting and were able to deliver on that experience.
What was the behavior that you were seeing in your customers, prior to the omnichannel order management system being implemented? Were you seeing that your customers were researching products online, coming in store, expecting it to be there, and then it not being there? Maybe vice versa. They were looking at stuff in store, going online, and then they would get an out of stock message. Were you seeing that type of behavior that kind of necessitated the push to invest in this type of technology?
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of calls to the call center, and our call center doing a lot of work trying to find and locate the inventory. There's just a lot of human intervention there.
So that takes us to kind of present day in terms of your order management solution. You've partnered with IBM in this relationship. Can you talk about what about it, IBM's particular solution was attractive to Eileen Fisher, and you believe was going to help address some of these challenges that we've talked about?
So I think first and foremost, I'll start with, the IBM order management solution is tried and true, right? It's very mature. It's been in the industry. It's got from Fortune 100 to Fortune 10 to Fortune 50 customers on it, to mid-tier to smaller size customers. It's really been baked. Right. And what I mean by baked is it's been baked from a capability perspective. It's been baked from a performance perspective. And I think it's been twisted and turned every which way. And it's just sort of uncrackable at this point. The other thing I would say is it's extraordinarily flexible, right? The entire platform itself allows flexibility to either stay within the confines of that box or to be able to extend beyond it to provide capabilities that the business may need that changes. When you look at these business capabilities, because it's so mature and it's been around the block, it just provides a lot of capabilities that are existing that we need today around, we talked about a few of them, order orchestration, inventory management, store inventory fulfillment, buy online, pick up in store, ship from store, but it also has emerging needs, right? So we talked a little bit earlier about our wholesale business. Even though we're focusing on DTC, there's a lot of technology in there that allows us to seamlessly, potentially in the future, integrate our wholesale business in whatever ways we decide to meet those needs as well, so that we can continue to control that experience for our customers.
So, our audience of retail executives, the next question that comes into play here is, let's talk a little bit about implementation timeline. How easy was it to get your staff up and running on this new system? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I could start, and Keir, we can kind of go back and forth. We took a slow roll approach, and what we did was we blocked it into phases because we didn't want to do a big bang. We really wanted to get the teams excited and ensure that everybody felt really comfortable about what we were doing. So the first leg was really getting all the inventory up and creating processes around our stores about receiving and inventory accuracy and ensuring everyone understood how to use the devices. So that was sort of the first phase of it. And then our second phase was our ship from store program. We are always very cautious and want to ensure that we have a great product and a great user experience. So we started with a pilot last fall and then rolled out the rest of the stores earlier this year. And that's been a pretty incredible experience, getting all of the stores and teams very excited about the product. So that's been a really great win for us. And then our next phase is send from anywhere, where we're creating a seamless experience at the point of sale. And then our next phase is buy online, pick up in store. So it's really, I feel this product is really, you can go as fast as you want. We've taken a pretty cautious approach just to ensure that we have all of the teams really engaged and really understanding the whys behind it and being able to see the results for themselves. Keir, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, that was a great recap, Kim. Just to complement again what Kim was saying, I think two additional points I would make is, the product lets you move as fast or as slow as you want, to Kim's point, right? And every organization needs to decide how fast or slow they can move based on their absorption of everything going on in the enterprise and the ability of the resources to consume that. Again, to Kim's point, what we decided to do is, instead of big bang, slowly navigate our way through the rollouts. And what that presented us with is the added benefit of the learning that goes along with each of these phases, both from a resource perspective and intellectual perspective, and any of the technology pieces that we wanted to adjust. And it helped the business learn as well what's working and what isn't. So we just found that was a more steadfast approach. That's not to suggest you couldn't have expedited those with money, resources, et cetera. Again, I've seen some of our phases go in less time with more money and more resource. We, based on our enterprise and our spend levels and our risk levels, chose to take this approach, but it's working very well. And I think in the second point I would make is the tool, because it's been so mature, it allows us to do it this way, right? Based on the approach we wanted to take. It also became a lot easier for people to learn the tool, right? The tool, again, has been sort of tried and true. It's very easy to transition that knowledge, whether it's a business person or a technology person, in order to make those phases a reality when we get to delivery and operationalizing them.
Yeah, and to your point around the slow rollout, I guess that allows you to kind of manage and produce less potential hiccups in the operation and the execution of these fulfillment methods. There's no quicker way to lose a customer than to botch their, whether it's, shipping something from store and it takes too long, or they go in store to pick something up and it's not ready, or it's not there in stock. So
that is exactly correct. And one thing to just compliment as you were speaking, Joe, and Kim will attest to this, is even when we roll out each of our phases, we take a very pilot, learn, and then continue to roll out approach. So again, we're getting better and better every time we do this, and our results sort of speak for themselves, right? As we're continuing this approach and this methodology, the traction is gaining, the amount of champions that are behind the product and the solutions and capabilities we're delivering is growing, the excitement continues, and the revenue and all of the things that come with what we expect the business to achieve is there as well. So it's just really a win-win across the board, the approach that we've taken.
So that leads us to maybe an example or two. You've briefly touched on them in ways that this new omnichannel order management system has kind of transformed Eileen Fisher's order fulfillment processes. Maybe you could talk about what you've rolled out already and stuff that, as you noted, maybe in the works and soon to come.
So I think we've gotten a lot more confidence in the inventory, which was key, right? Like, we needed to ensure that people felt really good when they see, is something available, it's actually available, and the customer's actually going to get it. So that's been a tremendous win for us. I think the adaptability at the stores, Karen and I talk about this all the time, the cognitive load that was put on, the humans in our store, we're now able to allow our associates to really interact more with the customer than having to, call multiple stores, trying to find things, trying to find inventory. Just this ease now, the ease and the confidence has been a tremendous win for us. And then, of course, the incremental revenue coming off of our Ship from Store program, it's really exceeded our expectations.
Yeah, and just to add on to Kim's point, right? You heard Kim and I talk about it a little bit earlier, which is the trust, right? So I think what we've done and been able to do is establish trust with our associates in what we've delivered, right? The consolidated inventory that's been cleansed. SFS couldn't have happened without doing that, right? And same with subsequent phases. So again, we're building trust and belief in the system, which is translating into those interactions that Kim just spoke about with our customers.
Maybe you could provide a little perspective on the scale of your Ship from Store program currently. What percentage or how much of your online orders are being shipped from store currently, and then maybe what's the roadmap? Where do you want to get to in terms of the percentage of your online orders that are going to be fulfilled from the store locations?
I'd rather not share the percentage because we are a private company.
Okay.
But I'm happy to share what's on our roadmap. We, again, like I mentioned, we're going to be piloting our Send From Anywhere program, which will be happening in the fall. And that really is allowing our associates at the point of sale to locate anything that our customer wants that we have across the across D2C and be able to ship it to her. So that's a really exciting program that we're going to launch. We're also going to be launching our Find in Store functionality on our website, which everyone's very, very excited about. And then we'll be rolling out Buy Online, Pick Up in Store next year.
Yeah, and just to add on to Kim's point, again, without getting into percentages, what I can tell you is that Kim and I are committed to making sure that Ship from Store is everywhere, and it's been a very robust program, and we've incorporated it in a lot of the retail stores that we have, and that we have been exceeding our expectations as far as our revenue goals, and I think that's probably just because we're private as far as we could go, but it has been a real success. It's being actively utilized across the enterprise, and it is exceeding our revenue targets.
Yeah, and Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, kind of looking ahead a little bit, obviously that's been a big industry trend, and consumer adoption of that is really taken off. Do you foresee from your customer base, has there been kind of a clamoring, a demand for that service? What do you see in terms of what the potential adoption of Buy Online, Pick Up in Store from the Eileen Fisher customer?
I think our customer is really, I believe she's going to be very excited about it, and I believe she's going to utilize it because, again, it's all about product and being able to get what she wants and not have to wait for it to get shipped to her. Like, she can just go to the store and get it. We have a very tight relationship between our sales associates and our customers. So I feel it's going to be making a tremendous impact to the customer experience for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with Kim. I think what's interesting is if you look at Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, and this isn't a technology issue per se, but if you look at Buy Online and Pick Up in Store in the past, I think it didn't have the type of traction it's gaining now. And I think the reasons for that is we get to be the receivers of a lot of those lessons learned, right? If you go back 5 years when people were doing either click and pull or Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, there weren't necessarily the spots to go pick it up effectively. There weren't people that were doing it. They were still learning a lot about how to do it from a business process perspective and some of the technology pieces around it. Whereas fast forward now, you can see that people are really pivoting, and Buy Online, Pick Up in Store is becoming more prevalent, more active, more requests for it, part of the experience pipeline, and that customers are embracing it more because of all the things that have been done up until now to make that experience that much better.
I really feel it's like an expectation now.
Yeah.
And I feel like, at least for me personally, when I go onto a site, I'm always like, do they have Pick Up in Store? Because I want it today.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not alone with that, as the numbers bear out. This is what we're seeing in terms of the percentage of orders that are now becoming Buy Online, Pick Up in Store across the industry.
That's exactly right.
So that if we're gonna talk about some of the primary business benefits, if you're going to tick off some of the things that you've seen since Eileen Fisher began using the order management solution from IBM, what would be at the top of your list, Kim and Keir?
Yeah, I think it's just been a smoother customer experience. And when we look at, and we're talking about our customers as well as our internal customers, so that's always, top of the list for us. And again, us having confidence in the data and feeling really good about servicing the customer, and the incremental revenue is always a great win as well.
Yeah, everything Kim said I agree with. And again, I think the solution, because of its maturity, its flexibility, and all the reasons we chose it, have been able to help us realize all of those great things that Kim just mentioned that we're experiencing as we continue to roll out phase after phase.
Great. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank Kim Audan and Keir McIntyre of Eileen Fisher for joining me today. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. but make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Also, please take the time to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us in the next episode of Total Retail Talks.
Design, installation, round-the-clock US-based monitoring, and repair. All of this and more is included in 10-4's IT infrastructure service at one price per month. Visit 10-4.com/totalretail to learn what we can build together.